Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Lights Camera Discussion Podcast and the final one in our Kevin Smith quadrilogy. Again, you all know the score. Let us get into it. Collie, what's the first film we're talking about today?
We're going to be talking about 2019's Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Jay and Silent Bob embark on a cross-country mission to stop Hollywood from rebooting a film based on their comic book characters, Bluntman and Chronic. How familiar sounding.
Yeah, well, it's familiar sounding. It's familiar cast as well, so it might be retreading some steps already taken. But why don't we kind of get into them? I mean, this is Kevin Smith post his heart attack. So what differences or what do you feel about Jay and Silent Bob, the main guys in this film, Collie?
I really enjoyed it. It doesn't hit the heights of Strike Back for me, but it's just a bit more of a poignant film, I think. I think there's a lot more explored in terms of the friendships and the connections with certain characters and stuff, but still really, really enjoyed it. A lot of the performances are good fun. As you're saying, stat cast of reappearing characters, but, Jason Mewes, Kevin Smith is the main two, carry the film as they did, 18 years before this or whatever for Strike Back. So yeah, it was good to see them back on the screen together again.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Everything feels a bit more mature, like from the performances, the writing, the kind of introspective side of things as well. But then there's also the normal stuff that you'd expect from a Jay and Silent Bob film. And yeah, it's great to see them back. You can tell that they had a lot of fun doing it as well. And yeah, I totally agree. It's one of those that you're right. It doesn't quite get to the point of Strike Back, but it's a fun ride. There's some fun things that happen. There's fun callbacks and everything. But yeah, it's just a fun film. It's one of those where like it's easy to watch. I found so yeah. Todd.
Yeah, I didn't like it on first watch, like when it first came out, and I think maybe seeing more of the other films and stuff has maybe made me appreciate it a little bit more. I had a really good time with it this time, and I think Jay and Silent Bob, like you say, they just carry it. They just they make sense of all of these daft little moments and like dragging in these like cameos and stuff. I do think it has a little bit more heart than. Sorry, it has a lot more heart than the original. Like it rides that line of goofy, but also like with a bit of a message and like a bit more feeling to it. And I think it sets the next film up really well as well in terms of like tone and stuff. But yeah, like I say, Jason Mewes for me, like Kevin Smith does plenty, and obviously we get Kevin Smith as Kevin Smith, and I love that he's playing himself like more like he's playing an exaggerated version of himself, with all like the big hand movements and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, they are both back to their usual selves, and I love it for that.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, talking about Kevin Smith doing his thing as Kevin, and also obviously playing Silent Bob. Personally, for me, I thought Jason Mewes was another kind of step above as well, like from the Jay that we saw before to what he was doing now. It's that kind of relationship that he had with his daughter. I thought that added a really good element to the film, and another way for them to show that bit of heart and stuff. Colin, what do you think of him in this film?
Jason Mewes?
Yeah.
Specifically, yeah. No, I thought he was great. I think like carrying the film as he did with Strikes Back, but a lot more heart, the kind of reemergence of justice, the learning that he has a daughter, but he doesn't want to initially tell her. I thought Harley Quinn Smith was really, really good as his daughter. I thought their interactions, but obviously, like they've got a real life, like not father daughter thing, but probably like uncle niece kind of relationship, probably with him being best mates with her dad and stuff. So that really like came through on the screen. Back to the usual like one-liners and the silliness and the daftness, but just played him with a little bit more maturity, which is a weird thing to say about Jay. But he really, really did. Still as stupid as ever, but I think like, yeah, I think we're going to be saying this a lot about this actually probably all three of the next films, but a lot more heart in them than the previous ones. And just on a Kevin Smith note, before I forget to say it, is that he decided that he wanted to make this after when he was in hospital after having his heart attack. And he said that being so close to death, he simply couldn't bear the thought that Yoga Hosers would be his final film. He wanted to have a good memory of working with Jay again and working with everybody again. So I'm really glad that this brought him and Jason Mewes back together, because by this point, Mewes is clean for 9 years. I think it was 2010 was when he said he'd been clean from, and Kevin Smith's got this post heart attack survival clarity and stuff. So just really heartwarming, nice to see them on screen together. And yeah, Jason Mewes he's been playing the character at this point for 25 years, on and off in different films and stuff like that. And obviously a lot of his real life bleeds into how Jay is as well. So just really cool.
Yeah, totally agree. You've summed up perfectly. It's sorry.
Obviously.
Well, obviously, yeah, of course.
I say that every time you compliment me. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Well, to be fair, you know him as well, so it's you have a deeper, deeper.
I'll tweet out. I'll tweet out the photo of me and him.
Yeah, please do. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny using the word maturity for a performance like this, because it is so mature, but it's such a silly character, which I absolutely love. And yeah, that's it. It's so interesting knowing that he kind of did this film with his clarity of after heart attack and obviously about Yoga Hosers, but also with the thought of he didn't want the remembrance of him and Jay's original Silent Bob film to be sullied by that kind of behind the scenes stuff. So he wanted to kind of have it with a bit more fondness they can look back on. It's the same as with Adam Sandler, isn't it? People talk about how he goes and does grown-up films with his pals and just a wee holiday, and it's almost like Kevin Smith's version of that, which is well within his rights to do. I think it's a nice little thing. Todd, what are your thoughts on Jay or even Silent Bob as well?
Yeah, so I mean with Jason Mewes, it's kind of we don't get to see him do any serious stuff anywhere. Even in Zack and Miri and stuff, he never hits that level of acting where it's heart and the seriousness, and it didn't feel out of place. Do you know what I mean? When he gets upset towards the end and he's talking to Harley Quinn Smith, it didn't feel out of place. It felt genuine. It felt earned, and I thought he did a cracking job with that. But then he still keeps when he's ripping them, when he's ripping every single girl in the back of that van to bits. It's amazing, and he still keeps that high energy. I love him for that. So yeah, did a cracking job.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, as I say, there's obviously a load of people coming back. Was there anyone, Collie, that specifically for yourself jumped out, or anyone that was a fun little addition that you thought?
I thought just having Justice reappear years after prison, and then obviously Rosario Dawson's her partner, or her wife rather, which was a good twist. But as I said before, I thought Harley Quinn Smith was really good in this. Not surprisingly good, because I personally liked her in Yoga Hosers, but I think it steps up a little bit now that she's acting not as part of a duo of the Colleens from Yoga Hosers, but she's probably it's Jay and Silent Bob, and then Millennium is the next character in the kind of pecking order of the film, and I think she does everything that she needs to do. All the meta commentary about the stuff with Kevin Smith, actual Kevin Smith, and all he does is force his kids to be in his movies, and when Kevin's just who the fuck raised you and stuff like that, all that stuff's really good fun. But yeah, Shannon Elizabeth and Harley Quinn Smith were probably the two standouts for me.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Todd, anyone?
It was classy, and Ben Affleck back, and that as Holden, and Jason Lee as Brody. I thought they were excellent as well. But again, it's those little dips in and out. I know they didn't have to do anything. This is more of a scene than cast. But when they run in to see the Clerks panel and they're all in black and white, I thought that was genius. That was wonderful. And I don't listen to Fat Man on Batman as often as I used to, but like seeing Mark Bernardin as like the silent husband of the chaperone to the journalist and stuff, I thought that was really cool as well. Yeah, worked really well.
Yeah. I did, although obviously I spoke about my
That was
my issues with Alyssa, or with chasing Amy kind of stuff as well. Seeing Holden having that relationship with the kid and stuff, and the kid I believe was Jason Mewes'
Jay's
real
daughter,
daughter. Yeah. So again, it's that whole kind of like familial aspect to it that really had that sort of heart and stuff as well. On obviously the surface level, but also from a more perspective of the background kind of trivia and stuff as well. I think it's yeah, it did it really well. I really enjoyed it.
so the other one who I can't believe I haven't mentioned, because why wouldn't I have, is David Dasmalchian at the beginning as the copper. How have I not mentioned him yet? It was nice to see him in there as well. There we go. That was a nice little one.
Why? What's what do you like him then?
I'm just a fan of his previous work.
Okay, fair enough.
Prisoners. Yeah, very good in Prisoners.
Yeah.
Dark Knight, he was amazing. Yeah.
Even stuff like Deirdre Bader as the security guard coming back from
Coming back, yeah.
from Strikes Back stuff. Fred Armisen as well as as Birkin that gets caught with the
With the joint.
the
blunt.
joint. It's just again so silly, but it's fun.
Justin Long doing the the Law and Order speech at the beginning. There are two halves. It was and like the same sort of voice as the Zack and Marie like style thing. Like again, greatest living actor.
Okay. Anyone else? Sorry. Val Kilmer and Melissa Benoist as Bluntman and Chronic. And I really liked the meta takes on that as well. How they like gender swapped Chronic and things as well. That was a funny sort of.
And Val Kilmer by this point wasn't
Yeah.
able to talk, so that's why he was playing Silent Bob's character and stuff as well. Yeah, I thought that was
And the bit with
a
the
good
phones
choice.
as well, where it's like they're typing for ages, it's just like a smiley face or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's just so stupid. But it's
that didn't annoy you, but the sailboat stuff did.
yeah,
In Mallrats.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, genuinely. Anyone else, Collie, that you want to talk about, or it's kind of just cameos, isn't it?
Just in Long in the early courtroom scene when he like obviously switches sides, and then Craig Robinson is the judge. Joe Manganiello is like the bailiff who's like laughing at cock munchers. Is it cock munchers? Is the name of their shop or whatever?
Cock smokers.
Cock smokers, sorry, that's it. Yeah, he just like bursts out laughing, like reading that out and stuff. But yeah, just top to bottom, just everyone appearing from the previous films was really nice. Whether it's same character or new character,
Absolutely.
like Matt Damon is Loki, and he's like not Tom Hiddleston with some fake British accent or whatever.
Chris Jericho as the head of the KKK was like an absolute surprise. Like, and I don't know, nobody made the joke. I wrote down Y2 KKK, which I thought was I can't believe nobody's done that. How have you
That's
not?
good.
I can.
Kevin, how?
I know, sort it out, Kevin. Call Todd up, sign him on.
Yeah, just get him
Method
off the
Man and
podcast.
Red Man when they're in the car as well.
Yeah.
when they're high and they're sitting in the front of the car, and yeah, just really really good.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to talk about with that? Any sort of tidbits, Call, you've got any trivia or?
Did you see like the post credits scenes and stuff? Like there was the bit where Stan Lee, where he interviewed him at a Comic-Con, and he was like, "Oh, I want you to come into it and stuff like that." He's like, "Right, I'm ready to go now and stuff." So like as a posthumous kind of cameo for him, I thought was really nice. And I enjoyed the explanation in one of the post credit scenes that it was Jay and Silent Bob that were shoving the gum in the shutters. He's explaining it to Millie, that he was the one, that they were the ones that were putting the gum into the thing. And then the post credits with Affleck, when Affleck was the bomb as Batman, yo.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Very good. Very good. All right. Let's move on to our quotes now. So, favorite quote, Collie?
So it's a Holden one. He's like, what is it again? Suddenly you realize you're not Bruce Wayne anymore. You're Thomas Wayne or Bruce Wayne's mum, whose name escapes me. I thought was quite a good thing about Martha.
Yep. Mine was simple. Fuck cop out, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, fair.
Todd.
Mine was the Batman, the Martha Wayne one. But I also just love Millennium saying, "I hate this guy. He forces his kid to be in everything he makes." I think that is just
That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did have quite a poignant one from Jay as well. That Silent Bob always says, "Failure is success training," which I thought was quite a mature like Kevin Smith line to probably put in this for like Jay to say of all people.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Favorite scene? Well, for me it was, and again it's super silly, so you'll probably have a go at it. But Jay, when he's dreaming of justice in the movies, and he's just like dry humping like the counter and stuff.
Do you pick
It's
that
just
as your
like
favorite scene? It's just bemusing to me how you don't like all of this stuff. Like the same guy who gave Yoga Hosers 0.5 stars, his favorite scene in this whole movie is Jason Mewes dry humping stuff.
Yep. Collie, what was yours?
The Chronicon at the end, like the big fight, I think was just when is it the Chinese spy when she reveals herself and stuff like that. I think that's just silly but quite fun as well.
And Todd?
It the whole Ben Affleck scene. I thought it was genius. It was touching. It was funny. Again, they had that fourth wall break. It was really well done. And it was just nice to see him back with the boys.
Excellent. And MVP, Collie?
Oh, Kevin Smith for me.
As in, like, the not Silent Bob, but like the kind of whole film.
Kevin Smith is
process,
the winner for me because like he's back to what he knows best. Post heart attack, he's having fun with all his friends and his family, and it's just a lot more like of a heartfelt film. I think he's just come out like with I say that survival like clarity of this is what I want to spend the rest of my life doing.
Yep,
and Moose Jaws.
Moose Jaws. My MVP was Kevin Smith as well, as from the technical side of things and like the filmmaking perspective. Although I'm not saying he's bad as Silent Bob, I just think that you're right. It summed up him and like his obviously new lease on life. So yeah. And Todd?
Jason Mewes for me.
Yeah.
I think that moment at the end with was just so well done, but he still didn't lose being Jay, which I thought was important.
Excellent stuff. Okay, ratings then, Collie.
I went 3.5 star, which I do. I think that is a bit harsh, but yeah, 3.5 star.
I went for 3. And Todd?
I'm 3.5.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that I'll probably start watching in like Dogma, Strike Back, and Reboot as like a trilogy. And I think like because they're both 5 stars for me, I think like watching them back to back would probably make Reboot be pulled up a little bit, because I think that was maybe one of the early ones of this that I rewatched. So I was like, well, that's where I'll place that. But I think I've bumped a lot of the other ones up a little bit, so that should have really maybe been bumped up again itself.
That's fair enough. Right, okay, let us go on to the next one, and the penultimate film in our Kevin Smith episode. Collie, what we'll talk about?
2022's Clerks 3. After narrowly surviving a massive heart attack, Randall enlists his old friend Dante to help him make a movie immortalizing their youthful days at the little convenience store that started it all.
All right, first thoughts, Collie, tell us.
I loved it. I think like it's... You can't make 3 without 2, but I think 3 is so much better of a film. I think that comes from the heart attack thing. It comes from the reconciliation between Smith and Anderson, who plays Randall, because they hadn't been speaking for several years. So I think it's one of if not his like sweetest, nicest film. Obviously, there's some really harsh, like sad moments in it, but it's quite a serious film as well at certain points. But yeah, I think it does. Back to back with Reboot, I think it says a lot about where Kevin Smith is and what he values now.
Absolutely, it's probably his most personal film, and I really appreciated that. And I thought what you said about having, you kind of need 2 as well. Like, it totally rings true. It's almost like okay, Clerks 1, Clerks 2, and then this. You really need to have seen them to kind of understand the sort of like the whole thing behind Clerks 3, and for it to land as it does. So again, it's part of the reason I'm really glad that we watched this, whether I liked them, whether I didn't like them, whatever and stuff there. But I thought this was like the pinnacle of like him, where his head's at, his story. And yeah, it was such a moving film. Because I think it was so personal to him, and it had a purpose. So yeah, I thought it was brilliant. I was really really surprised. I must say, at the start, I thought it looked like kind of weird. It looked sort of like, how when you go from when films kind of went into like the digital age, and it's sort of like a lot of color stuff could be looked a bit washed out, and like it was a strange. You could just kind of tell that movement, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to really like this sort of thing. But as soon as the plot kicked in, as soon as it got into, I thought it was great. It was a really really good film, and yeah, proper personal film. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Todd.
Yeah, it was. I think it's like a sort of. It's all about Kevin Smith. Like, obviously, I know, like you say, it's that clarity after the heart attack and stuff, but it's also about him wanting to make films. It's a making of documentary of Clerks as well, like,
Yeah.
and all of the sort of the things that actually happened, and putting that in there. I think he's just left himself on the screen. There's a couple of decisions I'm not keen on that we'll get to, but I think overall it was it blew me away. Like, it genuinely rocked me, and I think part of it is because I didn't expect it to, but like the writing, and yeah, it was so tastefully done, where it wasn't like cheesy. um yeah, and definitely impacted me.
Mhm. Well, let's talk about also the returning Clerks characters, Dante Randall, Elias as well. Uh, how did you feel about them, calling like their kind of progression from what they maybe were 1 and 2, till this one?
Yeah, so like Dante and Randall, I think they'd matured. How they'd matured from like Clerks 1 to 2, I think even more so like 2 to 3. Um, I think like it's weird. They just like fall back into these characters as actors, and just whatever they are in their life, I think like is exactly where they envisage like Dante and Randall being. So I think they must pull a lot of like real life stuff through into that, because the characters just seem so authentic and like lived in. And I think a lot of that is from Smith's writing, but I think Brian O'Halloran and Jeff Anderson are these characters. Maybe obviously not in like real life. They're obviously very successful, and they're not clerks workers, but I think they can bleed into these characters really easy. It's really like convincing and genuine and heartfelt. Elias's like transition from 2 to 3 is unbelievable, and the whole satanic turn in this is fun. What's his little mate's name? Is it
Blockchain.
Blockchain? Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was class as well. And yeah, and Rosario Dawson coming back as Becky, and Veronica. I thought like it's just a nice film. It was just lovely. It just felt. I don't know. I'm trying hard to. It just felt like a comfort movie as soon as you start watching it, because you know who everybody is going in for the most part.
100%. 100%. Yeah, Blockchain Coltrane, I thought he was fantastic. Like, and Elias just turned to the dark side. And the thing is, well, it was that sort of like change in him, was understandable. Like, it was a silly thing. Like, he changed from this God fearing person to like a Satanist NFT crypto guy. But like it made sense in the context of the reason behind him doing so, which I thought was really compelling. And you're right. I think Dante and Randall are, especially in their sort of emotional moments, you got to see a lot more to the characters than just the funny, the loudmouth, the kind of jaded people that we've seen in 1 and 2. And it added so much more to the characters. But again, I don't think it could have happened without the previous films. So yeah, no, I thought they were absolutely fantastic. Todd, what were your thoughts on those guys.
Yeah, again, it's that perfect progression through the films. You believe that they are the age that they're at, and you still believe that they're stuck there. Obviously, for different reasons now. Like, as in, it's all Randall's ever wanted, and he's fine with that. Whereas with Dante, it's like he wanted more. He almost had it, and now he doesn't know where to go. Like, he's just sort of sleepwalking through his life, and they portray that so well. And like the moments where Dante is watching Randall are like direct and stuff. It's like those moments of quiet are really, really nice and really well done. Um, I feel like who was the guy who I hated in the Marvels that you chastised me for? In when we watched not the
Oh,
Eternals, sorry,
Turtles.
the Eternals, and we watched it, and I said I hated that guy, and you were like, ooh, because I hated that one guy with the video camera. I fucking hate Elias.
Oh, the little sidekick. You hate Elias?
Yeah,
What?
Boo.
yeah, and blockchain, fuck 'em both. Like
Jesus.
it was every time they were on screen, I fucking physically cringed. I hated the costume changes. I hated the I hated like they felt so out of place. Everything else felt so natural, and them two, like the performances and everything. Not so much blockchain because even blockchain when he's doing all those cool shit fucked me off.
Todd,
I didn't
you've
get
ruined
it.
this Kevin Smith thing. It was all going absolutely fine until you
Everybody
said
was
you
it was
hated
a
him.
pure loving. I don't get it. I don't understand what I agree with you. It is the perfect thing of like Christian and religious into the Satanist stuff and like all that sort of, I get that, but it was just so fucking like forced, and I hated it every time they were on screen. And like and the worst bit is there's some really good moments that aren't ruined by them, and you'll see from my rating. Like I just piss me off. They just really piss me off, and I don't know. The film wouldn't be. Obviously, you need somebody to like start the heart attack, like Randall's heart attack at first. But like the film wouldn't be that much different if they weren't in it. For me, yeah. Sorry.
Shocking. Absolutely
Surprised
shocking.
me.
Yeah. I want to talk about some of the cameos that we get as well through this film. We spoke about kind of the main folk. We'll kind of touch on, obviously, as you say, Veronica trying to come back and stuff. Some of the auditioners were absolutely class. Do you guys watch Practical Jokers?
I know who they are.
Yeah. So like for all them showing up, that was class.
I was trying to figure out like what ones have been cancelled and what ones haven't been. I couldn't remember.
Well, Joe apparently is one that's been cancelled, but he hasn't actually been cancelled. And then Mur a little bit as well, but they haven't actually.
Okay.
Then obviously like Ben Affleck turned up. He does a play as well, with his fancy, his thing about the painting and stuff. Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar. It's a who's who of, again,
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo, yeah, he always brings a machete. Yeah, like it was again such a class thing where it's just big folk coming in for literally 2 seconds of screen time, just obviously for Kevin Smith. Was there any others that kind of jumped out for you guys that was made you laugh or was interesting?
Ethan Suplee, as the same guy from Mallrats, the star of Mallrats, as some might think. But yeah, it was good to see him again.
Definitely.
Skinny Ethan.
Yeah.
It was Sal's audition for me. That was the one that really, I'm not even fucking supposed to fucking be like that. Got me. That was just amazing. I know we briefly touched on, but Rosario Dawson coming back as Becky in those moments that were obviously like Dante having his own moment. I thought were that graveyard conversation at the beginning about like sex in heaven and stuff was just a really nicely like it just hit the tone perfectly. I thought she was wonderful.
They got the ass to mouth in there as well, didn't they?
Coming back, yeah, they did. Yeah. That was the main one for me. Was Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, hers was the one that hit me the most, definitely. and his
when she's
reaction.
watching it with him later on.
Yeah,
or just
yeah,
in general. Yeah.
Well, just in general, kind of seeing her back, obviously, and then the way that Dante reacts to when he speaks to her at the graveyard, and then also his kind of when he has a blow up at Randall about how his life was taken by a drunk driver and stuff like that. Like those are brilliant bits of acting from Brian Howard, again showing that kind of maturity from them. So, but yeah, the bit at the end specifically as well when they watch the film back, I thought that was a really really touching moment. Collie, anyone else? Anything? There's
no, I think we've covered everybody.
I mean, Jay and Silent Bob as well, of course.
Yeah.
Their usual thing. Okay. Any other tidbits or happy enough to go to scenes, quotes?
Yeah, I'm fine to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So, quotes then. Collie, go for it.
For me, it's just a quick one between Dante and Randall. You should put in that stuff you used to say about the Death Star contractors. Get sued by Disney? No way. I wanted to tie it back into my favorite scene from the original.
Yeah. For me, it was the bit at the end with Randall when he says I think it's Elias. He says, "You're not even supposed to be here today." Again, tying it back to kind of everything. And Todd.
My actual quote, I didn't want to take them away from you before, but my actual quote is where Randall says about, "I went to my own film school." And I just fucking love that. I thought that was like, that's Kevin Smith. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's him talking. But it's two J quotes that I wanted to say before, but I didn't want to take them away from you. It's how proud he is of his acting when he goes, "Silent Bob, you are rude, motherfucker," but you're rude as hell. That one. And why you got me saying stupid shit like Snoochie Boochies, which, again, is a throwback to before. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Favorite scene? I'll quickly do this one for me. It was when they're talking at the freezer, and it kind of cuts between the black and white and the color. It's like when Randall's like, Dante's lying down in the freezer, and Randall's like sitting on it, and they're having that conversation. But it's almost like going back and forward between the Clerks film and their real life sort of thing. I thought that was a really well made and really well done moment. Collie?
Yeah, that was a lovely one. For me, it was the cinema with Becky and Dante. That proper hits you.
Mm-hmm. Todd?
Yeah, same for me. I haven't seen a scene like that in a film that's affected me like that in a long time. It was a hard watch, but just really well, tastefully done. It's the only phrase I could use for it. But.
Mm-hmm. All right, and MVP, Collie.
I think it's Kevin Smith for me again for the kind of the behind the scenes stuff of like a culmination of a trilogy that he's been working on for 28 years by the time he releases this, and yeah, just that kind of post heart attack clarity that I've said a few times. He says when he was talking about this, he's like, it's a movie that concludes a saga about how you're never too old to completely change your life, and about how a decade spanning friendship finally confronts the future. It was just some of his like quotes about the film and stuff. So for me, he's definitely the winner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Todd?
Yeah, it was Kevin Smith for me as well. Like as the maker of the film. Did you during the credits? Did you hear his little voiceover at the end about like this is how even though you saw Clerks in black and white, this is how I've always seen them in full color because that was my life and stuff. It's like it's just an ode to like the trilogy, and it just sums up. I know we've got one more film to talk about, but it sums up the type of guy that he is and how much he loves filmmaking and what it means to him and stuff. And that again hit me when I just recovered from the final scene. It was really nice. But yeah, he's definitely my MVP.
Yeah, unanimous MVP was him. A big shout out to Jeff Anderson as well. The amount of depth that he showed compared to maybe what he had before. I thought that was a massive step up. And again, like you said, Colin, knowing the kind of behind the scenes bit where him and Kevin Smith had fallen out and stuff as well, it just adds even more to that. So yeah, but no, Kevin Smith definitely MVP for myself. Right, ratings then. I'll go first. Again, it's probably one where I'm probably a little bit harsh. Should be a 4.5, but I've rated it 4 stars. Collie?
It's a 4.5 for me, but I think it could be a 5. Again, similar to Reboot, like if I watched 1, 2, and 3 back to back, like because when I've been watching these, I've been trying to watch them chronologically, like film wise, not as the trilogies within his filmography. So I think when I get a chance of like, of a day, I'll just be like watching 1, 2, and 3 back to back. I think it would probably bump up to a 5-star because it hits all the right notes for me, in terms of the development of Smith, but still with the humor and all that. I think it ticks all the boxes.
Yep. Todd?
It's 4.5 for me, but again, I definitely think it will bump up because the more that you watch it, the more I'm going to get affected by it, and the more the performances will stand out more than they already do.
Even with Elias in it.
Even that is how good this film is. Even with Elias in it.
Fair enough. Okay, let us move on to the final film by Kevin Smith. Collie, what are we talking about?
2024 is the 4:30 movie. In the summer of 1986, three 16-year-old friends spend their Saturdays sneaking into movies at the local multiplex. But when one of the guys also invites the girl of his dreams to see the latest comedy, each of the teens learn more about life and love.
Excellent. First thoughts, Collie, let us know.
I really enjoyed it. I actually watched this for the first time just over a year ago when Mark was visiting, when we went to see Biffy Clyro a couple of times in the same weekend. So Mark had brought it with him and we watched it together, which was quite nice because I'd watched, prior to meeting Mark, I'd watched loads of Kevin Smith films, but I didn't love them as much as I do now, mainly because of him. So to watch the latest one with him was really nice. And it's kind of like, it's a different film to anything he's done before. It's a different film probably than he would have made this if he'd made it 10 years ago rather than making it now. I just thought it was a nice, like, teen rom-com kind of, caper kind of film, with some really fun performances.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, for me, it was almost like an inoffensive film. It kind of just sort of like was fine. It was almost like a period piece kind of thing about that sort of time in the 80s, and it's obviously again a personal film to Kevin Smith. It's what him and his friends, I assume, did. Like it was absolutely fine. There was some fine performances. There was a couple of things that were really funny. There was a couple of things that maybe I didn't quite like as much, but it was one of those where like I'm not like the rating is not or what I say about it's not because I didn't like it. It's just because I didn't like love it or love any parts of it, kind of thing. It was fine. It was a good enough film. Todd?
Yeah, I think like it's a nice film is the way to put it. Like I think it's an ode to watching films and like how they can make you feel and stuff. Like we've got that from Kevin Smith, like the whole this is what it's like to be a filmmaker, with like Clerks 3 and stuff. But I think with this, it's more this is what it's like to be a film enjoyer, like a guy, somebody who just wants to go and watch films and like you say, probably part of his experience. Some fun performances, yeah, good performances, and some entertaining moments. A little bit predictable, a little bit sort of like running, but not bad by any stretch of the imagination. A very easy film to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, let's get Todd back on this one again. So, the main character, obviously played by Blockchain Coltrane. So, what do you think of his performance in this one?
I liked him. I really liked him. He was that sort of typical teen drama-y protagonist who's like, dealing with 1,001 questions while also trying to see as many films as he possibly can, which is, sure we can all relate in some way, shape, or form. I thought he was really good, and I thought his chemistry with the other two lads worked really well as well. I thought that was quite nice. That it feels like there was a relationship there before the film started, which I know there is, but like as in it's very clear, and that's through his performance. And he's got this level of confidence about him that I love. So like when he's talking to Melody on the phone, and it's like he is that awkward bit geeky kind of guy, but he's still got that confidence where he can still be a little bit charming. I don't know. I love the conversations with his mum and him trying to get off the phone as he's sort of like, the manager of the cinema's watching him as well. I thought that was a really cool little moment. Yeah, I thought he was really good. I thought he was much better than he was in Clerks 3.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed his kind of cheekiness and his like sort of charming side of things, especially as you say that when he was right at the start was on the phone to the girl that he really likes, Melody, and yeah, I thought it was a really natural performance, and you felt that this guy is actually like that, or he has like that sort of charm to him, but also the kind of, as you say, the love for the movies, and you know he was um like talking about behind the scenes stuff and trivia stuff and things like that. That as a film enjoyer, or you know, like us, I have a podcast talking about films. You know, you can kind of relate to that side of things where he has that kind of deeper meaning or a deeper understanding of the filmmaking process or things that come along with it. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed him. I thought he was a really good main character in this film. Colin, what were your thoughts on Blockchain Coltrane?
Yeah, I thought he was excellent. Kevin Smith's future son-in-law as well. He's engaged to
Oh, really?
Harley Quinn Smith. Yeah,
Oh, well.
they got engaged. I think it was earlier this year. They've been together for a number of years. So
Oh, well.
again, keeping it in the family as well, as he tends to do. But yeah, I thought he was charming. I thought he was really just very relatable. Because he's not like a generic like handsome guy, or he's not like massively like ripped or anything like that, because he is one of his friends, Bernie. He kind of plays that role of the more handsome, charismatic, like playboy type, whereas Brian David like loves this girl Melody, and that's who he like really wants to be with and stuff. And then the rest of his time is spent on, you know, silly stuff like you know, pastimes like films, or his mate is like really into wrestling and stuff like that. So it's a very endearing performance. I think like what you're saying before about Clerks 3, like as a personal film, I think probably a lot of personal stuff Kevin Smith is wrote into Brian David as well. But yeah, great leading performance. I thought he carried the film really well. Had good chemistry with everybody, whether it was you know, Melody or his friends, or like you say before about his mom, or Ken Jeong as the manager. Like every scene I think he was in, I didn't think for one second was hokey or, you know, amateurish or anything like that. I think again, I think Kevin Smith, for all his faults, can write good dialogue that helps lesser actors or lesser, like, you know, experienced actors get carried through scenes like that. So I think he did a good job here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The friends, yeah. So obviously Belly and Birdie. For me, the guy Belly was like a cartoon character. Like it was weird. Like especially with the hair and stuff, and then the getting caught masturbating in the toilet and stuff. And he didn't quite work for me. I much preferred the relationship between Brian David and Bernie, because it was that kind of like, there was the jealousy of Bernie was the kind of ladies' man, but then when Brian was getting Melody, you could tell that Bernie was a bit more jealous of that, because it was like more of like a deeper relationship with a woman than what Bernie had. So I did like that side of things. But it's just the that was I preferred their sort of interactions. The other guy was obviously just like kind of for humor basically. But what was your thoughts, Todd, on the other guys that were part of the group of the three of them?
Yeah, I'm with you a bit on Belly. Like, it was cartoon character is the phrase to use. Like, it was all a bit over the top. It was all a bit like zany, and I wasn't as keen. I think with Bernie, he's like, you've seen him a million times. I think that the beauty of Brian David is you haven't seen him in a lot of films. Like, you either get the geek or the charismatic guy. You don't get a mix of them both very often. Where like with Bernie, you've seen that guy a million times and stuff. And I like, but I do love the fact that he does see himself as like a proper ladies' man. I love that the attitude and the way that he talks to that lass in the back of the cinema was fantastic. Yeah, like I think as a three, like sorry, the performance, not the actual yeah. As a three, they were really good and like balanced each other out. But I just thought they could
No,
tone down
sorry.
Belly ever so slightly. Go on.
Sorry, it was just the way me and Colin just like you're saying, she talked to that wifey, talked to the lassie at the back of the cinema. I think he did a lot more than talking.
I wasn't talking about that bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you know, I was. Anyway,
Oh, me.
Collie.
Yeah, Collie, go on. Save us.
Yeah, I thought they were. I thought they were good. As we're all saying, I think like they're characters that you've seen before. I thought their performances, for what they were written to do, were really good. Like, I know you're saying Belly's a bit silly in that, but like he was written to be like that. So I think the guy Reed Northrop, like I think he did a good performance of what he was being asked to do. This little like weird looking gingery kind of pasty guy kind of reminds me of Massey a wee bit, but that kind of. Even the weirdness, Massey, I think like that's you 20 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought they were both fine. I thought they were good to like bounce off each other as a trio. Like the conversations and stuff were good fun. Like when they're actually sitting in their way to watch the trailers and stuff like that. Like I felt very connected to that, being like, well, I've been there. I went to the cinema with my friends and had a laugh and had a bit of a caper and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought they were fine. Like nothing like standout or whatever, but just what they were written. I think the performances were good, and I think like if you fleshed them out even more, the film would be longer, or like you'd have to give up other bits and pieces.
Yep, I totally agree. Ken Jeong as the manager, I thought he was great. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought he was good.
Like,
he's being Ken Jeong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. But sometimes that's all you need, isn't it? Just someone to be themselves, and especially someone like Ken Jeong. Sam Richardson as well, of course. Todd, me and you have an affinity to him from I Think You Should Leave as the wrestler with like the sort of persona that Bernie tries to kind of connect with, but maybe he's a bit more softer on the inside, we should say. What were your thoughts on them, Todd?
Yeah, like I say, Ken Jeong being Ken Jeong it works with his movie car, which is the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen in your life. And the don't run, have fun thing is just that made me again. That was a joke that stopped being funny and then started being funny again. And I loved Sam Richardson as Major Murder, and like how he was going to go and talk to his wife and stuff. Like again, he's one of those who I like just seeing crop up in things, because obviously you don't see him much outside of I Think You Should Leave and Detroiters and stuff. Oh God, but yeah, I thought they were both excellent, and both playing similar roles to what they've already played before. But again, like Collie said, sometimes that's all you need.
Absolutely, Collie.
Yeah, it was just right in their wheelhouses. I think like I didn't find any trivia. They like he wrote the characters hoping to get them cast or anything like that, but it seems like he had, or at least like adapted them to suit them as actors or whatever. So no, I thought they were both really good fun. And kind of Major Murder not a foil but more of an ally to them, and like Manager Mike is more of as the antagonist of the film. I thought was a good balance, and Ken Jeong's obviously a really experienced actor at these kind of films and these kind of roles, so I'm sure he was good for the three lads, and Scene with Melody later on. Like he probably was really good to work with because of his experience to help these young actors and actresses progress.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else you want to talk about with this film?
Yes, we've missed off the greatest living actor currently working. Justin Long as Stank in the lobby was, again, just that little cameo was wonderful, and it's the stupid voice again. Like you again, there's those people in small towns in England, in Scotland, in America, where like you see them in the same places over and over again. They chat the same level of shite, and you kind of feel like all right for them. Like you feel kind of sorry for them, so you listen to them. I thought he was great, and I also thought Brian David's mum and dad were absolutely brilliant. I thought they were both fantastic together. Then last two.
All right, perfect. All right, quotes. Collie, favorite quote.
So for me, it's by the hot usher, as she was described on the casting list, but it's Genesis Rodriguez of Tusk fame. She says, most people come to the movies to escape their lives, but people like us, we come here because movies make life make sense. Out here, world is full of lies, but in there, they tell the lies, They tell the lie that tells the truth, and the truth about you and me is we are filmmakers. We've just not made our film yet.
I like it. Very profound. So you look like to say something else, Colin.
No, I'm waiting for you to like say your one. Sorry,
It's just the way you're like giving the dual eyes stuff, and it's like
I'm just like waiting for you like to say something stupid, and then me to be like, "Oh, in Mallrats, it wasn't good enough though."
oh, it was Ken Jeong. Have fun. I hope you die.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. Todd.
Mine was a combination of Bernie and Manager Mike. Mine was Bernie saying "suck my left nut" and Manager Mike going "not today." That was brilliant.
Favorite scene, Collie?
I really struggled to pick a scene. I think like if I was to pick, well, it would be Major Murder. The conversation with Air, I think, was really central to how the rest of the movie was, and kind of the decision making from there on. It was a pivotal scene, I would probably say, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be like when the boys first meet together at the cinema and then when they're watching the trailers, because that is good fun. Because I think like the trailers in the film are all like so stupid, but I'm also just like, I'd probably watch some of them. Like the one that Harley Quinn Smith's in, the Nun one.
The Nun.
That one and stuff like that. Like I would be like, I'd actually probably watch that if it came out, especially if it was directed by Kevin Smith. But yeah, in terms of like actual meaningful good scenes, Sam Richardson is Major Murder. That conversation I thought was excellent.
Yeah, I totally agree. It kind of so that was mine as well. But that it kind of sort of lifted the veil for Bernie in that he didn't have to be this sort of macho-y kind of guy and stuff. You're right, pivotal scene. That was my favorite scene. Todd.
Mine was just the Sugar Walls. I really loved the trailer. I thought it was genius. Like, I thought it was really well done. I thought it felt like one of those sort of like 80s grindhouse or 70s grindhouse films. And it was just funny that it was Harley Quinn Smith as Sister Sugar Walls. Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen a review somewhere on Letterboxd that was like Kevin Smith wants to fuck his daughter or something like that.
Yeah. They really like speak on her, but Sienna Agadong is Melody. I thought was excellent, and her like confrontation with Manager Mike would have been a good choice of favorite scene as well. I thought that was really good. That's when I was talking about Ken Jeong earlier. I was like, that's the scene that I was thinking of in terms of the back and forth. Like he said to her, probably like just like go as hard as you can for like, and we'll bounce each other and figure it out from there. So I thought just a shout out to her because we didn't really speak on her.
Yeah, definitely. And then MVP, well, for me, it was Ken Jeong. I thought he was, every scene he was in, he just stole it. And he was just such a dick. I thought he was brilliant. Collie?
Austin Zajur, for me, is Brian David. I thought he was excellent. I'd really like to see him in more. Like, his character wasn't overly complicated, but, and like Todd said, maybe at the start, like a bit predictable, but I thought he played it with enough charm and enough, like, familiarity that I really, really enjoyed his performance.
Yep. And Todd?
Yeah, it was Austin Zajur for me as well. Like, I think he was after last time. Yeah, he was believable enough and worked really well with the type of film that it was.
Good stuff. Okie doke. Well, ratings then. For me, it was 2.5. As I say, fine film. 2.5. Collie?
It was a 3 for me, but I do feel that's quite harsh.
Fair enough. And Todd?
3 for me as well.
Was that harsh?
No, I think I'm fair with the 3.
Yeah, I think when I was settling on the 3, because me and Mark, I think we both logged it at the same time when we first watched it. Mm-hmm. It's like you said, Matt, it's just inoffensive, and it's got enough like fun bits in it to make it enjoyable, but it's maybe not like as enjoyable as like Yoga Hosers.
Yeah, agree. Well, let's list our Kevin Smith.
Are we wanting to do all top 15, or are we wanting to do like top 5 or something?
It's up to you.
I'm fine listing it from like bottom to top, but
I can list bottom to top as well. I've done that.
Okay, that's fine.
So...
That's fine. Just because it's 15 films.
Yeah.
Which, just for anyone listening or watching to clarify, we originally had like 9 films picked out, but then Massey was bitching about it so much, I went, well, fuck you, then we're doing all 15. Which, to be fair, like I don't think we were gonna do Reboot. I don't think we were gonna do Yoga Hosers.
Nope.
I don't think
We're
we're going to
doing
do
Clerks 3.
Clerks 3 and stuff like that. So
Oh, were we not? Okay,
I think
yes, I'm glad we did.
no,
Then.
I don't think we were doing Clerks 2. I don't think we were doing
Okay.
any of the sequels apart from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So we added a lot more of them of his later films into it, which is questionable for better or worse. But yeah,
But, like,
Massey, if you want to do
I
bottom
do
to
think,
top,
I do think just on the back of that, like I really do think that it made sense to do that, because from the films that we saw, like a lot of it, well, specifically Clerks 3, really, like it needed other ones. I don't think. Firstly, I don't think I would have watched it just on my own accord, and secondly, I wouldn't have watched it as part of the other as well. So it really added to that. So, Collie, thank you very much for making me sit through all 15.
I'm just looking at this list here. I'm just like, did we talk about Jersey Girl? It just seems like so long ago since we
Well, it
spoke
was.
about
It was 4 days ago we did that. So
yeah, true. But Massey, let's go with your ratings.
Okay, so from bottom to top, Cop Out bottom, then Yoga Hosers, Clerks 2, Chasing Amy, 4:30, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, Mallrats, Jersey Girl, Clerks, Red State, Zack and Miri, Tusk, Clerks 3, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Dogma.
Solid.
Todd?
Right, so mine went. It's hard because they're all so.
There's
Cop
15,
Out was
hurry up.
definitely.
Right, do you want to think
Cop
about
Out
it?
was-
I'll do mine. I know mine. Do you want to think about it for a minute?
Go for it. Go. I've got
Okay.
them, but go.
You don't got them. You don't got them because you were like, oh, it's really difficult. Anyway, it's Cop Out, 4:30, Yoga Hosers, Jersey Girl, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, Tusk, Chasing Amy, Red State, Zack and Miri, Clerks 2, Mallrats, Clerks 3, and then Clerks, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and Dogma. But of the top three, I think like I'd be recency bias on those about what one would be my number one. Like Dogma's been my number one for the longest time, but rewatching Clerks and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, I could easily have them as number one as well.
Fair enough.
Hey, Todd, are you ready now? I even talked a little
You
bit
better
extra
be.
just to give you
Like,
plenty of time.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. This is going to move around, so fuck it. We'll go with Cop Out, Jersey Girl, Red State, Yoga Hosers, 4:30 movie, Clerks 2, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, Chasing Amy, Zack and Miri, Mallrats, Tusk, Clerks 3, Clerks, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Tusk is so high.
Which one's so high?
Tusk.
So
I rate it. I rate
What
it.
was
Yeah.
it sixth or something?
Fifth.
Fifth.
I've got
Tusk,
fourth.
Clerks 3, Clerks, Dogma.
Was that the same
Yeah,
as you,
Silent Bob.
Massey?
I've got fourth. I've got Tusk fourth.
I've got tenths. I mean, I loved it as well, but I've got. But I guess I just. I mean, I've got Yoga Hosers 13th, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Far too high.
3.5 stars.
All right. Well, that is Kevin Smith done and dusted. Collie, thank you for that. It was a mammoth one. But as I say, I think it was.
Well done, Massey. You deserved it.
Thank you. I just can't wait for my next
Happy
one.
birthday. That was your birthday present.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Right. Well, whose choice is it next? Who's on the next one? Todd.
It's mine.
Who is it we're talking about in our next episode?
So, our next episode is going to be about Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett. So, we will be watching Devil's Due, Ready or Not, Scream, the reboot, Scream 6, and Abigail.
Excellent. Not big name directors, I don't think, but certainly like there's
Maybe in
potential
your
there.
world. You know.
Okay, Shutter Man. Well, that is us. That is our Kevin Smith episodes. Again, if you're watching, if you're listening, please remember to like, follow, let us know below what your thoughts were on Kevin Smith on the films. You can do that through Twitter as well if you want, at LCD_pod. Just fire us a tweet across there. We'll get back to you. Yeah, we will see you guys in the next one. We'll be talking about Todd's 2 Shudder exclusive directors. Guys, see you all later. Bye bye.
Cheers, everyone.